I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited about this one. This Christmas countdown file is perfect for so many of you who I know are already counting down, and right now it's not even December yet. You're gonna love this. Your little ones are gonna love it perhaps even more. It comes with a star that you get to move from 25 all the way down to 1 to count down the days till Christmas. Whether you open up your presents on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve like we do, doesn't matter. You're gonna have a blast with this countdown. It's very easy to make. It's gonna be something you're gonna love having out all through December because it's so cute and so fun to use. You use 4 sheets of 1/8 inch material to make this, and we intentionally laid out the pieces to make it as easy as possible to paint, especially with spray paint, because that's all we do to make it easier and easier to make. I think you're going to love this. Let me walk you through the file and give you a couple of tips and tricks along the way to get the most out of this Christmas countdown. All right, now I've got all of the pieces set out here, and I want to go over them really quickly, and then we'll start assembling them. Start up here in the middle. We've got the silhouette that goes behind all of the buildings. And then I've got the store that goes over here on the end, which is this one right here. We've got the awning there, and the door frame that goes on just like that. Here we've got the star, the pieces to the star that moves on the counter there. We've got the star and the front that has the circle and the back. And then we've got the lamp posts here. And then all of these little things look like top hats. Those are the front and the back that go on the base of the lamp post, and then the actual base they sit on. We've got the steeple for the church, the frame for the window, the door frame, and the little decor that goes above the door. Then we've got these 2 pieces that stack on top of each other to make the church stick out there. Got the little cross that goes on top of the cross, the fire station, the window frames for the fire station, the door frames that go around the fire station doors, the windows themselves, and the other frame that goes around the door. And then we have the 2 pieces that go on top of each other for the tower of the town hall, and the door frame and the decor that goes above the door frame there. The pieces that go around the clock, and the clock is right there. And then we've got at the very end here, we've got the barber shop and the door frame and the window frame and the barber's pole. And then I'll get to these in just a moment. And then here is the other piece, the side extension to the town hall that goes right there, and the window frame there. Then I've got a stack of Christmas trees, which we'll go over in just a minute. And then, as you'll notice in the file, there are several rectangles that are really easy to get confused. So I had you score what they are on all of these. So the sides that you're looking at right now will be the back or the underside. You're going to use this other side of each one of these. Of course, you're going to paint them, so that will be just fine. But these are all identified because otherwise you're going to have trouble knowing which one is which because they are a lot of similar. And then you'll also notice there are several rectangles that come out of places like this that end up just saying on them trash, because I figured that's the easiest way to know that this rectangle, this one, all these are trash. You don't need to keep them. So you'll know right away which ones to throw away. So I hope that helps you a lot. So we've got the town hall roof left and right. We've got the other one that says town hall roof, which is actually just this small piece that goes right there. Whoops. We've got the store roof. Store's down there. We've got the 3 steps, which go right here. We've got the barbershop sign that goes right here on the barbershop. And then we've got the barbershop roof, and then the 2 roof pieces for the church. So let's go ahead and start assembling these. What we're going to do is we're going to assemble some of the small pieces first and then put them all together to make the big scene there. So let's just start down here. We'll start by putting the window frame and the door frame, the barber's pole, and the sign on the barber shop. So let's do that. The barber's pole, you can pretty much put wherever you want to. As far as height's concerned, just kind of artist's choice on that one. I put it about right here. And then the sign is just kind of a placeholder visually. So here's the barbershop sign. I'm going to go ahead and put glue on this back side here. And then you can just put it right here about in the center of that space. And we painted it white just to kind of give it some contrast. So that's the barbershop. We'll set that to the side. Come back and get that in a little bit. Next thing we can do is the clock tower for the town hall. Sorry, I'm losing my thoughts there. So we've got two pieces here. The one with the smaller circle goes first, then the clock goes in the circle, then the larger circle goes on top of it, and then these frames go inside that. So what we can do for now, if we want to, is we can go ahead and glue these two pieces together. Just make sure they're nice and lined up. So we can do that now. And then if you want to, you can go ahead and take these two pieces and glue them in. This one here is the larger of the two clock circles. It just does just what you think it does. It goes right in here like this. So we'll go ahead and glue that in. And then the next one goes on top of that. It's much thinner and it creates a little bit of a border here. Just make sure you line up those shoulders visually. And it goes just like that. We'll set that one aside as well. Come back to that in a minute. Working down here toward the fire station, we can do part of this one and the rest will have to wait. We can put the frame around the window here. I mean around the door if we want to, and around the windows. So let's do that. And then we can put this window frame on. I would not put this one on yet, but we can put the full window frame on. This one I would wait because it butts up against the next piece that goes on there, so I would wait for that one. We can also put on the door frame of the church, which is, oh, sorry, we've got the door frame for the town hall. Let me come back and do that one real quick. Sorry about that. Got the town hall door frame. And then we also have the decor that goes above it. It looks kind of like a mustache to me. The bigger mustache goes over the town hall door. The smaller one goes with the church. And you just line it up right there with the frame of the door, the top of the door. We can set that aside now that I got that. And again, we're going to wait on these doors going there, but it has to sit on the back piece there. So we're going to wait, and then this piece is going to wait for just a moment. Let's go on to the next pieces. The next part of the church goes on just like this. You square it up to this side and to the bottom, and it has some wings that stick out here that are going to hold the roof on in just a minute. So let's put this piece on next. Square it up to the door itself and also to the left and the bottom side. There we go. We can put the window frames on the church now as well. At least these two side frames. And now we can put what I call the steeple, which this is all kind of part of it, but we can put that guy on right here. Again, square it up with the door and with the piece below it and the bottom. Get that all nice and squared, just like that. And then we can put the door frame, the decor, and the window frames on. You can tell which door frame the church one is because it has the square, like decorative pieces on the corners there. And then the smaller mustache design piece goes right above the door, and it fits right between those two corner pieces, just like that. All right, so now we've got the church done. We can work up here to the little store. Oh, we've got the cross too. This is a really small piece, very small, so you're gonna have to use your big fingers with it. But glue the cross right up here at the top, on top of the other one, just to give it some more dimension. All right, again, we'll set this over to the side. Now we've got the store and the awning and the door frame for the store. Now, the awning, you can kind of put that wherever you want to. I like it just down a little bit on the front like this, but this is my preference. You can put it parallel to the top if you wish. Up to you, but I kind of like it like that. And then we just put the door frame on. Now we've got the lamp post left and the star. Let me do the star first. So let me give you some tips about the star. One of the most important things about the star is that this is the centerpiece here, and then you've got the circle piece that goes on like this, and the back piece that goes on like that. So it ends up looking, like this one here. And what's really important is that the centerpiece, the star itself, this piece right here, needs to be at least as thick as the material that you use for this piece here, which is this back piece here, because it needs to go over top that and slide down like this. And if this material is thicker, it's not going to fit. So here's my tips. Make sure that you make the center piece out of, again, either out of this MDF or whatever you use. And when you paint them, let me show you this. Make sure that you paint this piece, if you paint it, paint both sides of this to make it as thick as possible. That way it stands a much better chance of fitting on here well because it's nice and thick because of the glue. Hopefully that makes sense. And also, if it's going to rub at all, if you'll paint the inside of both of these pieces, then if you paint it white, then if it rubs off a little bit on this white, it won't look as bad because it will be the same color. So hopefully that makes sense. So the way you put this together is you simply sandwich the star in between the other two pieces. So we're going to go ahead and put glue on this one here that has the circle on it. And you're going to line it up with the top and the sides just like this. Then we'll flip it over, get the back side here, and line that guy up just like that. All right, we'll set him aside for a minute. We'll come back in just a moment. Whoops, sorry, just a moment. And then the lamp posts, I'll do one of them with you. You've got these two pieces that kind of little pieces that look like top hats, hats to me, bowler hats. And they go on either side of the base, just like that. There, 1 and 2. And then the bottom piece, you glue it right on like this. So it ends up looking like this right here. Okay, let me put that in the camera there. Looks just like that. And what I did was I assembled these like this, and then I taped, I put a piece of painter's tape sticky side up onto a piece on a table, stuck it like that, and then taped down the tape. And I was able to spray paint it just standing up. And that was a nice little trick, easy to do for those. So let's stick one of these together. You can do as many as you like. All right, then you put glue on the bottom of it. And you can glue the base right to it like that. Just make sure you get the base nice and centered as much as possible. Just like this. Just like that. We'll set that aside, get that here in a little bit. All right. And I think we are now ready to start putting pieces on here. Oh, one more. We've got the other window frame here that goes right like that. So let's put that on there. All right, that one's on. So now we can start putting the pieces on here. I'm going to start from the left and go to the right. You can do whatever order you want. So over here, we've got the store. The store goes on just like this. Now, as far as painting is concerned, what we did was we painted this entire back piece a pale yellow to kind of simulate some light coming through. Paint whatever you want, but we painted it a pale yellow, and then that way the light comes through all the windows. So we're going to glue the store on this end. Just square it all up, top, bottom, and left. All right, then the next piece is the church and the fire station. Now we've got all that put together, it's pretty easy. Just put it all together as one piece. Just like this. Again, square that all up against the top, the bottom, the top, and the store on the left. Next piece will be the left part of the town hall right here. And by the way, if you haven't picked this up, it's a lot easier. The way we designed this, we made it easy to be able to paint all the pieces separately and then put them together. We don't really like having to use brushes or anything exact, so it's really nice the way these are made to just spray paint them and then put them together. Next piece will be the town hall right here. And while we're here, we can also put the clock in. You can rotate that however you want to have it say whatever time you want. Now we can come back and put these pieces on the fire station. This one, these just set inside the garage door there, right like this. And of course this one goes in the one that you can half see there on the side, just like that. And then this window frame goes right up against that church. That's why we didn't want to do that earlier, because we wouldn't be able to get it exactly right as far as alignment's concerned, but now we can. And also there's a little, I don't know, you probably won't be able to see it, there's a little notch right there in the frame of the window, and it notches right on the corner of the church. So it'll be another place, another easy way to get it positioned exactly the way you want it, okay? All right, we're almost done. Now we got the barber shop over here on the right. Put this guy on. And then all we have left is a bunch of the roof pieces and then some placement of Christmas trees, and we are almost done. Okay, so now we've got all the roof pieces. So let's talk through this. They're all labeled. Oh, we got the steps. I'm sorry. Let me do the steps next. You want to, of course, put the score down. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stack these guys just like this. Just like steps. So I'll hold this up in the camera, but you can probably imagine what this is going to look like. So just like this, okay? Glue those together. All right, once that cures, then what you can do is you can take the steps and on the back side of the steps, put a couple dots of glue on there, and you're going to glue that right to the front of the town hall, right underneath the door, and it's going to square to the left and the right, and on the bottom, it's going to sit just like this. All right, now we've got all the roof pieces left. So I'm going to turn this up toward you a little bit. And you know what? I think we probably should we're going to do the roof completely last, all right? But you'll see they're all labeled. This is store roof right here. So for example, this roof is going to go right on top just like that. And then all the roofs are going to go down the way. So we're going to do that after we glue all this together. That way it'll butt up against what's behind it, okay? So now, let me see if I can get enough room in the camera shot for you here. What we're going to do now is I'm going to bring this one up to the front. And what happens here is that this whole piece here is going to glue directly onto this rectangle, and the corners are going to just go flush with the corners of this rectangle, okay? So align the bottom of the town right here, align the corners. We need this piece right here to continue to be the tab that sticks out that goes into the base. So you're going to glue this on just like this here in just a moment, like that, all right? But let me talk to you about what goes under it. This right here is a ledge that you can put Christmas trees on, and you see that several of these have the word back scored on them. And what I mean by that is those are the right height to go right here against this piece here. And the other ones are too tall. And the reason is, if you were to put the tall ones up here, the star would hit them as you move. But if you put them on this layer right here, the star can move behind them. That's what this rectangle is for, to space them out. So what I would do if I were you is I would probably take all these Christmas trees, and I would probably look at the pictures that you have in your file and kind of figure out where you might want to put these. Let me just arrange some of these this way, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to just kind of decide where I might want to put them. And I want to put, personally, I want to put one hanging over the right side a little bit, and then one hanging over the left side. I think I'll put probably two of these big ones on either end like this. And then I'll probably put, a couple there. And I'll show you what I'm thinking as I'm doing this here in just a second. Because what we're going to end up doing is trying to fill in some of these visual dead spaces here. Oh, that one doesn't go there. That one goes down at the bottom. And when I lay them on like this, you can put them wherever you want. But I want some of these dead spaces above these buildings to have a tree in them, right? And I want to have a tree right here in this gap. That's just me personally. You don't have to. I want to have one right there. And I kind of like the way that's laid out. So now that I have it that way, I can lift this back off. And now I can glue these all on here. And don't be afraid to let the left and the right ones hang a little bit over the edge. It's okay. I think it looks really good to do that. So I'm going to put some glue on here. And I'm going to glue this on. I'm going to make sure that this is lined up with the bottom here. Right there. And make sure it's lined up. And let this glue set for a minute. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to let it overhang the side because that's my preference. You don't have to if you don't want to. But I like the way that looks. So I'm going to overhang it just a little bit. Again, you make sure that these taller trees are on this rectangle. Don't put them back here because it'll end up hitting the star. The only ones you want to put up there are the ones that say back up on that layer, okay? All right, then I'm going to go ahead and just glue everything else right where they're sitting. Again, pay special attention that this does not overlap this tab. You need it all to just butt right down there. And it's also okay to get some of these trees to overlap each other on the front and the back layer if you want. That looks really nice as well. All right, so now I've got all those on there. This is going to go on top of those. And you also want the left and the right part of your town there to align with the piece that's right underneath. And it's really hard for me to show it to you on the camera, but I think you'll know what I'm talking about. You're going to align it right with the ends of these tabs here, just above them. So just like this, right? Like that, aligned there. So you can take this back off for a minute and you can put some glue on these top trees that are going to touch the back of the town. So I'm going to do that. All right, I'm going to stand that up now. And I can go ahead and put it in the base now, so I'm going to do that. And let me show you, this is a weird angle, but the roofs go on really easy. This is the store roof, so it's going to go on top of the store. I'll put some glue right here on top of the store, and we'll put our roof on just like this. And by the way, if you use fake snow, this is a great place for the snow to pile up and look really great. Got the town hall roof. I'll just grab this next. It goes right in here. Barbershop roof over here. All right, then we have the two slanted roofs that go on last here, or you can do whatever order you want. But they go on here. The town hall goes right here, just where you imagine it would, the town hall. Now, this is easier to do laying down if you're not using super glue, but they go just like this, and they just meet at the peak. All right, meet at the peak, and they align with the back of the stack of layers there. So just align. I know you probably can't see what I'm doing. Just align with the back of the layers, and then just touch at the peak there. I'll tip it up here to show you in just a moment. And the same thing with the church roof. Now the church roof has a guide on it, so you'll see that there's those little ledges that I created. And they're going to just meet right there at the cross and then pinch right there and sit against the roof. That will probably make a lot of sense as you're doing this because you can see it really well. It'll be pretty obvious. And you can lay this down if you need to do it that way too. All right, and then all we have to do is glue in our Merry Christmas in the back and we will be ready to go. So let me put a little bit of glue on here. Also, if I didn't mention this earlier, make sure that you account for the thickness of paint when you're doing this so that it still fits in there. All right, and that's all it takes to make this. If I were you, I would make sure that this slot fits nice and tight so that it doesn't wobble, but once you get some glue in there, it should do really well. So you can make this however you guys want, but I really think you're going to love the way it looks with the snow on it. Let me tip this up toward the camera here. With the snow on it, you can put the lamppost wherever you want, but it's really cool. Sorry, this has got to be one of the most awkward ways I've ever held something for the camera. But we'll put a picture up on the screen and let you see that as well. I think you're really going to dig it. Let me know if you guys have any questions with this, but I'd love to see what you guys make. It's so much fun.